This is Democracy Today on AIT. Today we are talking about, focusing on the 2027 elections and state of political parties, and we will be talking about the New Nigeria People's Party, the NNPP, right now. I have joining me in the studio Dr. Agbor Major, the national chairman of the New Nigeria People's Party. Many thanks for joining the program tonight.
Thanks for having me, my good brother. Good evening, viewers.
It's been a while since you met here. I remember I requested that you come back again. You made good that promise.
Yes. Before I left here that day, I did say that whenever you want me, I'm always there for you. If you had asked me to come even before today, I would have been here.
Thanks for
coming. Because
coming.
that's the job that we are capped to do. So we have to continue to talk to the people.
Thank you for coming. I'd like to begin by this very simple question. What is the state of your party, the New Nigeria People's Party, the NNPP, as of today?
It's, well, the truth about it is that the party is still what it has always been. And yes, it ran through a lot of crises shortly after the 2023 general elections, And we have always been here on there, trying to deal with those crises. And those crises have long been settled. The latest of it all is the recent Court of Appeal judgment from Owerri, which further, cemented what was seemingly seen as a leadership disagreement, The judgment restored Dr. Boniface Okechukwu-Aniebunam as the founder and the chairman of the BOT, and also restored me as the national chairman of the party. So with that, we are not, I don't think there's anything to talk about as far as the presumed leadership crisis of the party is concerned. That has been settled. As you know, the hub of every democracy is the rule of law, and the courts have settled it. I'm not sure there's any judgment. All the judgments we've had before now, and of course you recall that we've had two judgments from the FCT High Court, and then the first one, you all know, came from the Uzuakoli Abia High Court. So we now have a total of 4 judgments in our favor against the invaders, And so...
You call them invaders. They are still your brothers in the same party.
Well, we are all politicians. No, not in the same party. They're long left, The Abia High Court judgment dismissed them in 2023. So sometimes when I see you media people begin to say that they just left and all of that, it confuses us, because for us as a political party, they were sent away shortly after the Abia High Court judgment of 2024, So all through 2025, up to today as we speak to you, the marriage that brought us together, that the Abia High Court judgment dissolved, made them cease to be members of the NNPP. And so, erroneously, it's not right. Let me put it that way. It's not right for anybody to say that they just left or they are just leaving. They're long left.
The reason we still talk about them is because, for instance, you say there's nothing to talk about. Now, I'm wondering, does Bala Yunusa Muhammad really, has he accepted that the matter is done and over with, it is settled, no further appeals, no further, wranglings, and what have you?
As a matter of fact, if I had known that I was coming here to discuss people who are not members of our party, I wouldn't have, kept this appointment to be here.
I
thought I was coming in here to discuss NNPP and its preparations for 2027.
Absolutely, we are.
But since you've brought this, let me just brush through it.
Okay.
I won't give any further details. The truth is that we masquerade, most of us masquerade as Democrats. We don't really understand what democracy is all about. Its pivot is the rule of law. And so whoever parades himself as a party actor or an actor in any democratic setting, but has no respect for rule of law or what the court says, the person is not a Democrat. Bala Mohammed, you are talking about, in fact, he came into this party to replace somebody who was on the NWC shortly after we reorganized the party in 2023. He didn't even start with us when the Kwankwasia group came in. This man came in to replace the person, that is Senator Hunkui, who had a place. He was the organizing secretary of the party when we consummated this union. But he left to be able to contest the governorship seat for Kaduna State in 2023 election.
Okay.
And we gave him an opportunity to bring a replacement. So he brought this guy And from nowhere at all, as National Organizing Secretary, he is now telling the world that he's chairman. Is he not aware that the appeal court has spoken very loudly from Owerri, that they are not members of the party? Why should I be wasting my energy talking about Bala Mohammed, who is not only, how do I describe him? He has never been a member of this party. He came in midway to replace Senator Hunkuyi, and all of a sudden, he has now become what nobody can describe. He's now saying he's chairman of the party. From where? So it is total disrespect for rule of law. It is total disregard for what the courts have said. But I am not speaking for the courts, you know. Okay. But if you have a judgment from a court as high as an appeal court, and then you are still somewhere parading yourself, you haven't gone to challenge that at the Supreme Court, you are somewhere parading yourself and deceiving the world, that you are chairman of the party, I don't think that's an issue that we should dissipate energy to talk about. You know, let's discuss the future of NNPP.
Absolutely.
As we head to 2027.
Absolutely, we will. But in the event that, you know, there are also distractions that you may need to fight that you do not want. But in the event that they present themselves, for instance, if they head to the Supreme Court, how would you deal with that? And wouldn't that, you know, sort of distract you? Would you be seeking, you know, an out-of-court settlement rather than going ahead?
Is the PDP not at the Supreme Court now? Is the ADC not at the Supreme Court now?
It's an undesirable move.
How does that distract the internal workings of the party? Let me tell you, democracy gives everybody an opportunity to do whatever he or she wants to do, either rightly or wrongly. And you know, wherever you are, you see miscreants, you see people who think well, you see people who refuse to think well. And democracy gives everybody the opportunity, whether you think well or you think wrongly, to do whatever you want to do. So it's a continuous thing. That's the beauty of it, the power to disagree, either rightly or wrongly, you know. So we don't see it as a distraction. The party, even when the crisis was strong, I have repeatedly said it here, that even when the crisis was strong, we were still working as a political party because we knew that we were on the path of the truth and that eventually, the rule of law will prevail. We will have our party back. And today, to the glory of God, we have our party back. So we have not missed even a minute in the discharge of our duties. And so if we have come this far, 4 judgments, 1 appeal court judgment, rest, high courts, and then somebody is somewhere talking all sorts of things, or even threatening to go to Supreme Court, my brother, I don't think that's anything to worry about.
All right.
Yeah.
It's good to know that the courage and the boldness to keep pushing still remains within your party. But sometime in March this year, I think precisely on the 29th, you lost one of your major pillars in the north, in Kano precisely, former governor of Kano State, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. He now, you know, has placed his stand with the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. That's not all. The only governor you had in your party, governor of Kano State, jumped ship and joined the ruling APC. You're preparing for a major election. Doesn't that sort of unsettle the major organs of the party?
We are worried about the defection of the governor. And I did say it here sometimes. The last time I was here, I said it clearly that the governor left because he complained he was unable to deliver services to the good people of Kano State. He was under intense pressure by people who believe that the right thing to do is to continue to hold on to the purse of the state. And he left. So that we understood very well. And we said, okay, if that's what you require, if that's what you need to be able to deliver services to your people, you know, the box stops on your table. And so at the end of the day, if anything goes wrong, you are the one that is held responsible. So if you need to be free to deliver services to the people and the only way to do it is to exit, you can exit. But that of Kwankwaso, I have decided never to talk about him again. At a point, he was a member of our party. He came in 2022 and was dismissed in 2023. So again, you are making another mistake by saying that we lost a pillar just recently.
You called it a mistake. It's not really a mistake.
I think it's a mistake because you are not a member of the NNPP.
I am
the one to tell you
why
when Kwankwaso was dismissed from the party. And I am telling you that he was dismissed precisely on the 28th of August, 2023. He was dismissed from the party by a legitimately convened convention in Lagos.
Let me tell you why I asked that question. The NNPP as a political party definitely has, you know, internal mechanisms which you use. You may have used it to resolve some other petty issues that did not even make it to the media. it could have been possible to use such internal mechanisms to rein in people who have been aggrieved by some way or the other. So how come that internal mechanism didn't work in this case? And then he had to go.
The party's constitution, like you rightly have said, has inbuilt internal mechanisms for resolving internal crisis bordering on either leadership or whatever.
There you go.
The truth is that the options were explored. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Go on.
Dr. Boniface Okechukwu Anebunan, the founder of the party, has something that is now his nature. No matter what you do to him, he leaves the window open for you to talk. He is older than the person you're talking about. He gave him this platform without any encumbrances, without even a kobo dropped. Unlike others, you are hearing what is happening across other political parties. People are accusing themselves and counter-accusing themselves. You took money to do this, to do that. If Kwankwaso has a proof that he gave a kobo for him to get into the party with his Kwankwasia movement, let him say it to the world. The truth is that we explored that. Even up till recently, up till the middle of last year, the windows were still open. And I said it so many times on air, okay. That the only thing that keeps a political party together is that unity. So it is only if you are unable to help it that you allow the external courts, for instance, to take place. Every party has an ADR. We also have an ADR unit that was also supposed to have looked at it. But each time the move was made, the visitors would always say the owners of the house should be the ones to initiate it. Okay. We got talking. And along the way, they were grandstanding, telling us all sorts of things. And then at a point, the man, Dr. Nebunan, having taken in so much, in terms of patience, now said, okay, please, let's dissolve this and let everybody go his way. So the truth is that we explored the internal mechanisms for resolution of party crisis. It failed from their side, not from our side. We also tried to get a few external, eggheads to step in and see if there would be a consensus. It never worked. They were hell-bent on hijacking the party. The whole thing that was running through their brain and their heads is, we must take it over. How do you take over what does not belong to you? You were not part of its foundation. It existed for about 22 years before you came. Then all of a sudden, just within 2 years that you came in, and because you had enough room to operate, you now want to take it. People told this man repeatedly, why not talk to the owners of this party? Why not go and sit down with them? Just the same way you went to them to go and beg for the platform. But that never sounded like anything serious to them. So at the end of the day, we couldn't continue, and we had to discontinue the marriage. And by 2023, he was sent away.
Apart from that, there's been other defections as recently as today. Many of your members of the National Assembly...
Kanu.
Okay.
Kanu now.
They have also left.
Kanu now. They are members of the Kwankwasia.
Okay, so...
But they didn't just leave
until they left, until they left, they were still members of your party. No, you held dear.
Yes.
Now they have left.
We were looking at them up to today as members of the party because they were elected on the party's platform. I don't know if you're getting what I'm telling you. Our marriage with Kwankwasia was dissolved in 2023. But the few Kwankwasia elements that had won election on the party's platform, when the crisis came, what we agreed as a party is, okay, we are no longer looking at them, those who won election, the few of them, National Assembly members, and even the governor. We told them clearly that, yes, you came in through the Kwankwasia movement, you are registered members of the Kwankwasia movement, but that identity does not prevail over your being members of the National Assembly elected on the NNPP platform. That was the privilege they enjoyed until today. But we know that originally they came through the Kwankwasia movement. And so we are not surprised that they left. They have been living in tranches now. The first tranche was about 9 of them. That was led by Rurum, Al-Hassan Rurum. Another tranche left again, left by Senator Kau. And then finally, the remaining 4 that left today. So why will you be surprised? Because they all came through the Kwankwasia movement, and they are all loyal to Kwankwasia. They defected from NNPP to ADC.
You may not.
So they went with.
You may not be surprised, but you do need to, intensify your preparations for the 2027 elections, beginning with the primaries, which begins tomorrow till May 30. How are you preparing as we wrap up now?
We have sent our schedule of activities to INEC as I speak to you now. The party has set its schedule of activities, running all through from, specific dates for specific activities, including the primaries. We will be doing our primaries from that schedule, I think from about 12th or so of May. The primaries will be running in batches, State Assembly, House of Reps.
Specifically, when is your primaries coming up?
I won't be able to say exactly the date, but I know that by the schedule sent to INEC, our primaries are supposed to commence around the 13th of next month.
Okay, finally,
to last till about
before I let you go, we've actually had a good time, but not enough time, actually. But before I let you go, has the Independent National Electoral Commission recognized or confirmed the court order that confirmed you as national chairman yet, or there's still
in the face of the law? As I speak to you now, we are doing committal proceedings against the INEC chairman for flagrant disabuse of, for refusal to implement court orders. 4 court orders, 1 is even a mandamus.
Will that be necessary? Why don't you just, get this one recognized and then move on? Will that be
Get
necessary?
what recognized?
The court order that confirmed you as national chairman.
That's why we're doing our work.
All right.
That's why we're doing our work. You need to recall that we had a similar debacle like that played out, that led to Amechi's emergence as the governor of Rivers State.
I remember.
You remember that?
I remember.
So I don't need to explain. At the end of the day, the Supreme Court said the right side, the right party leadership was the one that nominated Rotimi Amechi. Amechi became governor of Rivers State. So let INEC continue to do
while he was holidaying in Ghana.
In Ghana. So let INEC continue. Let Professor Joash continue to do what he's doing.
Dr. Agbor Major, the national chairman of the New Nigeria People's Party, the NNPP. Many thanks indeed for joining us on
Thanks so much for this
I'm hoping to see you again.
But I will continue to complain about time, When
not to worry. As we inch closer to the elections, there will be more time for you.
No problem.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Don't go yet. Another segment is on the way. See you.
Issues as they break.